It feels like the ESPYs haven't really been relevant in quite some time, but Shane Gillis made a splash as he was chosen to host the ESPYs. And as soon as that was out there, a lot of people thought this could actually work. This could actually be something funny. Unlike the other things that we've seen from the ESPYs over the years, the constant virtue signaling, the bullshit, maybe you might have a comedian who might actually take shots at kind of everybody. And that's exactly what we witnessed from Shane Gillis. His monologue was great. Took shots at essentially everyone he possibly could, from the WNBA to little jabs at Trump. And that's what comedians should be doing. That seems to have been lost for some people. But he made a lot of headlines, and I want to place just a handful of the jokes that were out there. There were Epstein references, stuff like this. Let's listen.
Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. What are you booed up there, dude? Shut up.
Throughout the entire thing, you could tell. The best part about this is he's making fun of some of this shit to these big athletes who do not want to be made fun of, who don't want to hear this stuff said. So there were a lot of people that were very against some of the stuff he was putting out there, which was one of the best parts of the performance. And, he made some jokes about, I probably shouldn't have put this in there, probably should have taken that out. Hey, Disney let me do this. Disney's the one. They let me come up here and say this. That type of stuff. There were some funny Trump references. Some were digs at Trump, some were not. Here's something in here.
Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. All right. No, you don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
A very relevant one right there, but this was one of my favorite ones of the night. He had a couple WNBA references, talked about how him and Caitlin Clark have a lot in common. They've both nailed a lot of threes, stuff like that, right? But here was a WNBA joke that I thought was the best one.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. Clap for that.
And look, I thought Shane Gillis was great. I thought a lot of it was really fucking funny. He joked about Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend, all of that stuff. But this was the thing that a lot of people had a problem with. New York Magazine, the famously offensive comedian, took several unfunny swipes at the women of the WNBA during their annual ESPY Awards ceremony. But one person was very, very upset, and that is Sarah Spain, who used to be on ESPN. Ex-ESPN personality ripped Shane Gillis for insulting black women during ESPY's monologue. And it's so funny because I remember Sarah Spain when she was just getting her start, when she started doing little appearances for ESPN 1000, ESPN Chicago sports radio station. I remember her back then. I remember the jokes that she would make. I remember how she used to be very okay with people sexualizing her, all this type of stuff. Suddenly, when she hit the big time, things became a little bit different for Sarah Spain, and she just became a woke, insufferable loser. Well, here she is. In a year of crazy growth for women's sports, she's an ESPYs host who doesn't even attempt to make clever jokes about women athletes. He at least attempted for the men. He goes with the hacky, no one knows the WNBA bits. Megan Rapinoe is a bad time. He did make fun of Megan Rapinoe. The crowd didn't really appreciate it, but everybody else did. And repeatedly insults black women. Cool. And then you can see she's getting a lot of heat for this. She got destroyed in this reply. The WNBA four-time All-Star was one of the most creative jokes in ESPY history. You're just mad it exposed the entire W and the audience. Nah, that one wasn't smart. Smart would have been to say four-time WNBA All-Star, blah, blah, blah's here. Any fans of her in the crowd? Then catch them lying. Watch the tape. Anyone he announced get claps for. Could do the joke with an NFL O-lineman. Same would happen. She got absolutely wrecked on this. And this is what I mean when I'm talking about Sarah Spain. I remember Sarah Spain when she was getting her start, late 2000s, 2010, during that time frame. These are the types of bits that she would do as an up-and-coming female reporter, female journalist, female co-host, all that stuff. This was her back in the day. This was a bit where she was like, I'm going to try out for wide receiver for the Bears, wearing little shorts, showing off her tits, stuff like this.
Someone needs to sport, bro. Odds, I mean.
Right? This was Sarah Spain back in the day. I remember that Sarah Spain. What happened to that Sarah Spain? All of a sudden just became an uptight, woke lunatic, and it's resulted in nobody having any respect or care for her anymore whatsoever. Look, I thought a lot of the Shane Gillis stuff was funny. It made the ESPYs relevant for the first time in a long time, publicly roasting so many people up there, not shying away from this or that, giving everybody some grief, which is what comedians are supposed to do, and a lot of these athletes have been taking themselves way too fucking serious lately. And a lot of the journalists had a problem with it, too. It wasn't just Sarah Spain. She's just one of the more notable ones that got wrecked for her Shane Gillis take. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.